I've been told by a couple people that it's a little nerve-wracking talking to a loan officer. Well, it doesn't have to be. We're really not intimidating people, and the honest truth is we want you to get this home. So really, in the pre-approval process, I just kind of want to fill out what we do. So first and foremost, what we do is we just start with a brief conversation. All we want to know is what your goals are and how much money the house is that you want. And then what we're going to do is we're going to basically kind of go through with a fine-tooth comb and pre-underwrite your file. And how we do that is we ask for some documents from you. The documents that we ask for aren't a whole lot, but sometimes they're a little hard to find. So I want to put this information out there in case you're looking for a rush pre-approval. Just have these things at the ready. So first and foremost, what we're looking for is just a month's worth of pay stubs. I think it's pretty self-explanatory, but basically we want to see how much you get paid. And how we do that is we take your pay stubs and we break down whether you're hourly or salary. And then what we're going to look at is, are you working full-time or are you working some sort of variable hours like a part-time schedule or, those schedules where it's like, hey, I work 30 hours one week, then 40. And then basically with that, we're going to compare it to your pay stubs and just make sure by using your year-to-date average that you're on track to make the same amount of money that you're supposed to make. And then if not, we just want to know why. People take unpaid vacations, some people have personal things that come up. It's not a big deal. We just need to know what's going on so we can explain it to an underwriter as we move forward. The second thing that we're going to look for is 2 months of bank statements. And we're going to ask for all pages because we want to make sure that we can look at all the transactions that have happened for the last 2 months. Two main reasons that we're really looking for this is, number one, obviously we want to see if you have the cash to close, or if not, are we going to need to basically work on a down payment assistance program, or basically do we have enough assets really just to close this transaction? The second one, and what most people don't realize, is that we're looking for any large deposit. Anything that's kind of out of the ordinary from like, hey, you get a paycheck or something like that. We expect that. But then we look for kind of extraordinarily large deposits. And the reason that we're looking for this, and this is not a joke, but it's for the like an anti-terrorism act. So basically we want to make sure that, the money that's being spent is money that you've earned. Now, every now and then people do get large deposits, and it can be from selling a car, and all we'd ask for is like a bill of sale. Basically, we just want to be able to source that large sum of money to make sure that it's coming from a legal source and not an illegal source. The third thing that we're going to look at is your tax returns for the last 2 years. Really, this just gives us a pretty good insight of did you work and, kind of where's your pay trending? Because what we'd expect to see is that, 2 years ago, hopefully you're making more money now than you did 2 years ago. I think it's pretty self-explanatory, but yeah, make sure that, hey, we could show that you have actually worked for those last couple of years and that you made some money. And hopefully, that we see an upward trend on your income. The final thing we're going to look for is any sort of asset statements you have. We ask for 2 months of those. And those include things like 401ks, stocks, bonds, mutuals, any type of asset that you may have. And the reason that we ask for that is oftentimes people don't carry enough cash in their checking or savings account to close the contract. So, they have outsourced types of assets, once again, 401ks and things like that they can utilize for that cash to close on the transaction. Ask for on a pre-approval is to pull your credit. Credit gives us the most insight on your repayment history that we can ask for. It goes back several years depending on how long your credit lines are, and it'll show us things like what's your repayment history, how much of an outstanding bill do you have on each line of credit, and it'll also show us, on top of that, any bankruptcies, foreclosures, or any problems that we're going to need to address before we move forward in your pre-approval. All in all, it's really not a crazy hard process to get pre-approved. We just need to get a couple documents from you and a credit pull, and we just need to verify everything. And just remember, we're not here to be intimidating. We just want to make sure that, if you're going to borrow this large sum of money, that we've got the ability to repay this loan. But once again, we want you guys to be homeowners, and we're excited to take those phone calls. So don't hesitate to call a loan officer if you have any questions. And if you want to continue this conversation with me, I'd love to hear from you. Talk to you soon.